Hi, hello, and welcome back. Now in this video what I'm going to do is turn this lovely slab, well, not all of it, but only one portion, into nice little watermelon tray. I really like eating watermelons, but I only have like a plastic tray which really annoys me, so I'll make one bespoke really nice tray for myself. Now this is lovely slab of apple. It's around 35 mil thickness and it's quite dry, so I'm going to show you, I'm going to put down the camera and show you why I picked this spot here for the tray and what to avoid and so on. So the slab is currently at the lathe here, at the lathe bed, and I'll walk you through how to pick the spot, why, and what to avoid here. Now, also in this video I'm testing out a new microphone, so I bought a new wireless microphone which had a really nice review, and some of the tests that I did, even with the wounded Harvey lathe here, didn't sound really bad, so actually sound quite alright, so even better than my previous setup. So what to watch here. Now first, this is slab that I bought from the mill, a sawmill, and they had a really good price, and I got like 3 or 4 slabs for a really small amount of money. Now usually always from the ends here you'll have some of the checks, so you'll always have to remove some material here. So at the moment from the top here I can see the splits here, and we'll turn this over. You always have to turn the slab over to see the other side. So if you see here, basically I can go all the way up to the bark here and have a really big diameter. Now you'll see when I flip this around, the story is a little bit different. So again, you have to remove some of the waste wood here, usually about 20 mil or so. You can go slightly smaller, than saw thin strip of wood and then bend it. If it breaks easily or with the cracks, then you have to take another chunk off. So usually it's 1 inch you have to remove here from this end. Now I want the biggest possible diameter that I can get. Now in this orientation on this side I can go up to 340 mil diameter. Now when I flip this over, give me a second, it's quite a big different story, and I hope you can see this. There is some of the spalting here, and it's not punky or anything, but I cannot keep this. This is the hardwood, or sorry, the pit, and goes like this. So you can see it was a relatively short tree, as always, like with an apple, but it was twisted and so on. So this probably won't be the stable wood possible, or to keep it nice and flat, but it's for me, and it has only purpose, and that is to hold the watermelon. So you can see here we have a lovely twist in the grain, so I think the bottom has some lovely figure as well. So I'll try to keep this one as a top face, and then we'll when we make a nice flat bottom, we should have a nice curve in the grain like this, with some of the ripples inside. So here you can see a lot smaller size. So here is roughly 310 mil diameter. So I'll see and play around with the circle a little bit. So also we need to count that the bark is like so, the bottom edge sort of goes at an angle. So let's see, extend the dividers, go further out. There is a big split here, but it's not on the other side, so I reckon I can get away with this one and another one here, and so just mark that so you can see them a little bit better. So again, if this is in the middle, then I think I can get away with it. On this side I can see much longer split up to here, so I need to stay away from this area here. And there is a little split that goes in here, so that's something to avoid. Getting a slab from a mill like this could be maybe cheaper, depends on where you are, and if you're not maybe available to getting the logs or wet timber. So getting a slab like this doesn't have to be apple wood, it can be something more common, maybe oak, ash, beech, or anything like that. So, and that should be relatively good price. At least here it can be. So I'll extend the dividers even further out. And now let's see. So that's pretty much that. I'm going all the way around and here. So for the moment I'll go with this orientation. So poke the middle, the center, and I'll try the other leg. I need to sharpen the dividers a little bit. These are actually new one. And this now is the biggest diameter is 325 mil diameter. That's 12 inches, I believe, something like this. It will be slightly smaller due to bark here, and we'll see if there is any other imperfections. So I'll go at the bandsaw, cut this out, cut the circle out, and then we'll meet here at the lathe. I've cut the circle out on the bandsaw, and this should fit on. Just turn on the lathe slowly, 400 RPM. Now it's quite uneven piece, and there is a big cup, therefore on this side there is a big belly. So just tighten up by hand a little bit more, and I'll bring in the tailstock this time. Don't put too much pressure. I have one big cone center in the middle. So first things first is to true this up. Again, there is a lot of oscillation here, and just to show you this, so here is the high spot, and on this end you can see my finger goes basically in. So I'll lose quite a bit of thickness here. But that's okay. Again, it's for me. So I'll bring the speed up gradually. That's now 1000 RPM. That should be good enough. Spindle gouge. Brings the speed down a little bit, starts to shake a little bit more. So this should be a good test to see how it handles this lathe, how it handles the big tray. Diameter is nice and clean, so in this case, in this occasion, the diameter don't affect anything here in terms of vibration. So all of the unevenness is from the thickness from the belly. So just use the ball gouge. So strangely, what this lathe will do, so now for some reason it starts to vibrate again, where it should be running a little bit more true. So now I'm just playing around with the RPMs a little bit, so now it's 800 RPM. Now what this lathe will do to correspond with the torque requirement for the specific task here, for this occasion, let's say, it sort of in a millisecond bump up the torque of the motor, the output, and it sort of gives a weird occasion of sort of a surge of speed, if that makes sense. So I'll see if I can demonstrate that. So we see at the end of the cut here, it sort of vibrates a little bit more. So it bumps like 50 RPMs, I can see on the display, more to accommodate for the torque that it needs. To bring a little bit more with the tool rest. So try to demonstrate this one more time. Hopefully you'll hear it or notice on the camera. Really weird sensation. So I'll throw up the top here. Okay, so that's chewed up blank. It's again much thinner than originally. So it was 35 mil. Now it's, let's see, the usable thickness. It's around 22 mil. So almost 10 mil of difference here. So now I can bring the speed up a little bit more. Now it's 11:23. And I'll remove the tailstock. All the rough stage is done. I'll use my refiner to refine this surface. And to see how it scrapes this apple. I can tell you from the shavings, it's not bad at all. So you can see that's quite lovely stuff. Still a bit of tear out from the interlocking grain here, but I'll clean that up. That's from the roughing cuts from the gouge. So again, it has a weird surge of RPM. So again, in the customer service they state that maybe it could be a motor, so that's why I send them separate video on without anything on the spindle, so the engineers will assess what it is. So we'll see. Again, roughly 100 mil, doesn't have to be exact. You saw this in a video where I turn the tray, or how to turn square sides. I know it's a similar video, but I kinda need this plate for myself, so you can turn something with this. There is a little, this hub is a little bit taller than it should be. A little catch. Okay, that feels quite good. Just clean it up, make it nice and smooth. With the skew, just slight undercut here for the jaws. And one little V groove. So again, just double check. Okay, so this is the resting place for the plate, and I'll put a little sort of bead or a step, let's say. So when this warps, I only have to sand this outer rim. So that's the next task, and I'll do that with the square and scraper. So let's see now the surface. Okay, that's really good in this area. A little chip out here, so I'll have to be a little bit more careful. And here I need to fix this. The rest here is really nice. So use a refiner. And here as well. Yeah, that's much smoother. So I just removed the top burr here from the narrow square and scraper, and I'll just extend the burr from the top. So just placing the burnisher on top of the scraper here. Just to give it a rubs a few times. Be careful, of course, where you position so you don't slip on the sharp corners here, which can give you quite a dig on the skin, so be careful. And I feel nice fresh burr. So just to finish up the corners here, again, light touch. Okay, that's Now nice and smooth. Raise the rest up slightly and I just clean up the very peak of the bead. Now this is ready for sanding. There is a little bark inclusion here, so I might fill that with some of the CA glue, but everything is nice and clean. Where the green has a nice ripple here, figure, there is a slightly rougher texture, but that will sand out really in no time. And just to double check the surface here, yeah, so I'm only resting on this outer rim here. So do the sanding. So now just grab a little bit of shaving and that will help you polish up the surface a little bit, but also clean up any dust from the corners and such. Now, although this piece is for my own use, I'll just put, for the sake of the video, wax on top. I'm just curious to hear in post edit how the sound is. Just clean up this corner. Come on. There we go. So that's really nice timber here, you can see. I haven't filled this. I think it doesn't need anything, so just keep it as it is. So we can flip this around, so I'll do that real quick. Again, you saw me use these step jaws a million times, and that will expand into this small recess. It's running nice and true. Okay, so now we can see more clearly this big split here goes from this point to this point, but when we reach the bottom, I think it should be gone. I hope so. We'll see, because there's no remnants on the other side. So, and on watermelon platter like this, you want, or at least I want, some sort of a ridge to hold any juice that comes out or anything like that. So it's not flat like a cutting board. So again, it's the speed. I can't go faster because of some of this unevenness, but we'll first chew that up, see if we can spin it just a little bit faster. I'll be using ball gouge. Make a nice skim cut. So there is a lot of, I guess, density in the timber, so I can't spit it much faster. So that's running at 1132. Get nice clean push cut here on the side, and just thinking about the shape, I think it would be nicer if this was something so I can pick it up from the table a little bit easier. So I'll do that real quick with the ball gouge from this side. And just to clean this area a little bit. I'm using the curve of the wing of the gouge to make a nice little cove here at the bottom. Okay, that's looking quite good. So I want to get this down to the bottom. Again, using ball gouge. So that's the bottom of the screw chuck hole. So I just want to double check where that corresponds with the bottom of the recess. So okay, so I should be able to go down at least another 2 mil. Again, I don't want to make it super thin because this will warp. This you can see by the grain and how it warped as was drying. So I sort of anticipate that it will warp. So. And what I'll try to do is make a little, it won't be super flat, it will be flat in this portion, let's say up to here, but then make a slight curve up so everything can drain sort of in the middle. But again, I still want to have a ridge here to contain everything inside. Now from this point, I'll use a square and scraper. This wider one, 25 mil wide. Just bring the rest slightly more up. Okay, now I can bring the speed up, everything is nice and true. So now it's 1333. This stuff is super hard. So that's I think good enough for this flat spot. So now start to project that slight curve, but for that I'll actually double check how thin or thick I am here. I think by the sound there's enough wood here. So I have 8 mil here. So I think I'll go down a little bit more. And now make this slight curve up. Now you have to listen to the lathe and the wood. So at this moment doesn't like to, at this stage, since I'm getting further out in the outermost diameter, let's say, so I have to be a little bit more gentle and support the back of the plate as well. But I've lost the burr, so fresh burr straight from the grinder. So what I'll do is with this round nose scraper, the bowl scraper, try to get nice curve here. Again, listen to the wood. You don't have, or in this case I can't go any aggressive. So that vibrates a little bit too much, so I'll use a ball gouge. Just shear scrape the curve here. To get nice clean surface. Now with the refiner, bring this down. The shavings cover the camera. That feels quite good, a little rich here. That zip at the end is not good. Just to see the surface. Yeah, that's really nice. Can just lightly compare. Okay, so there is a slight curve to the middle. Now, you know what? I kind of like the ridge here, the pedestal, sort of. So, what I might do is bring this down a little bit more if I have the room, and by the feel I have. So this will be sort of a pedestal, and all the juices can flow here. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So that when it goes to that zipping sound, then that means that I just pushed too hard and it's already getting a little bit thin, so I need to be a little bit more gentle. Okay, like that, and I think I'll put a little chamfer here. And again, make a little groove, small, tiny groove, which with sanding will sort of disappear. But it will help out with sanding, so. And it will make a nice definition for this corner here. And again, I'll just add a little bit of, I'll actually put the wax first, and then just a little bit of oil on the rag. And again, I've just added a little bit of tung oil just to help it spread out, spread around. Again, this is pretty much unnecessary step since I'll be using it, but for the video and to show the lovely grain of this apple, especially here on this inside, just put the finish on. And that's it. And I forgot to mention that I did fill up these holes a little bit, these bark inclusions, with the CA glue. So you can see a lovely piece of apple with a lovely figure and discoloration and everything. And now you can see a little bit more clearly this pedestal where you put the watermelon, and then the juices will settle on the sides here. And again, this is sort of on a fly design, and again I have a little lip here to help it lift up, and you see the bottom. So yeah, really pleased with this. So again, thank you for watching, thank you for enduring on another tray project, let's say, but this one is quite a necessary one since it's for me for once. And yeah, now I'll go eat some watermelon. So see you in the next video.